and gentlemen, we now come to the International Women's Professional Contest. 4 2-minute rounds. Please welcome in the blue corner. This woman has completed successfully as a kickboxer and an amateur boxer. She makes her professional debut tonight, and in doing so becomes the first woman professional boxer of her country. Trained by the maker of champions Lenny Meyer from the city known as East London in the Republic of South Africa, Sandra Almeida.
Well, a history-making event for South African boxing as Sandra Almeida makes her way to centering. She's based out of East London. Originally born and bred in South Africa, this light middleweight fighter, 24 years old, a former kickboxer trained by Len Meyer tonight. To the strains of House of Pain, one of the most popular re-entrance musics for all fighters, Sandra Almeida to take on local fighter Daniella Smith.
In the red corner, a former amateur star and Oceania Games gold medalist, now fighting as a professional and world rated by the WBC at number 11. Vowing not to let any girl stand in her way of becoming New Zealand's first ever women's world boxing champion, known as Daniella. Here is Daniella Smith!
And a massive ovation for New Zealand's most successful female boxer, Daniella Smith. A very experienced amateur who won the New Zealand title in 2004. Also a gold medalist at the 04 Oceania Games. Daniella Smith from right here in Auckland town makes her way to centering. All-female affair.
Daniella.
New Zealand versus South Africa.
Okay, our first requirement is a good, clean fight. When I tell you to break, I want you to take a step back. When I tell you to stop boxing, stop. Okay, watch the low blows. I don't want the elbows, and watch your heads in close. Best of luck to both of you. Touch your gloves and go back to your corners.
You know what, Mike Angove? Over the last 11 years, I've commentated around 3,000 fights, and that is the best stare down I've ever seen.
Well, it's certainly upped the intensity on the boys' stare down. Daniella Smith refused to yield as Sandra Almeida really got in her face as Gary McChrystal gave instructions. And she's been clipped early.
Daniella Smith in the black shoes. It's easier to tell them apart that way because they both have the same coloured trunks and the same coloured singlets on. The black shoes of Daniella Smith, the white shoes of Sandra Almeida. Nice jab right hand from Daniella Smith. She's opened up like a house on fire here in the first round. Only 2-minute rounds, these one. Nice right hand just rocks the head back of Sandra Almeida.
Well, we saw Almeida come out early and score with a glazing right hand. Daniella Smith perhaps took it a little bit too casually, but we've seen very early on that she has the ability to throw a good hooking overhand right, just rolling the elbow on that. And also saw her go down to the body. She has a good punching arsenal available to her.
Daniella Smith, who comes off a split decision victory last November against Victoria Cisneros here in Auckland. She's twice beaten Sue Glassy, also defeated Renee Bevins.
Break it up.
And as we said earlier, the most experienced and successful New Zealand female boxer.
She's just not quite finding a range with her jab at the moment. She's throwing it, about a foot short, actually. She really needs to step in behind it. I think she's a little bit worried about the right hand, but nice counter left hook. But Almeida working there, working the body. She's a very earnest fighter, perhaps a little low on the skill department at this stage, but she's taking the good shots when she gets them.
Danny Codling lending instructions from the corner of Daniella Smith. She fires again with the right hand, finds the target, and both women tie up. A little bit scrappy here in the first round.
Smith just had the opportunity to go to the body with the right hand there and then perhaps double up with the uppercut. Just needs to vary her punching arsenal just a little bit.
Almeida continuing a rich tradition of female kickboxers who have made the transition to pro boxing. Sharon Anios, Holly Fernley among them. Sue Glassy, another one. There's the end of the first round. And we go to the towels, Mike. How did you see that one?
Well, undoubtedly it was Daniella Smith. Not a lot in it, but she landed the cleaner combinations in that first round.
Capacity crowd here at the Sky City Casino in Auckland for this Dodge Fight Night. They've seen a lot of action and there's a lot more to come here tonight. First round of this one, unofficially, we are giving the way of Daniella Smith of New Zealand over the pro debutant from South Africa, Sandra Almeida. Here we go, second round.
Well, Almeida is showing good foot movement around the ring. She's reasonably elusive. She moves her head okay. She's still got a lot to learn in terms of her defensive capabilities, and she does tend to pop her head up. Oh, Daniella working well there, slipping underneath the left hand, then twisting her in the corner.
Straight right hand again. Daniella all over her early on here in the second round, staying on close, not giving Sandra Almeida an inch here. Sticks the jab on the schnoggin again. Good work from Daniella Smith. They tie up in centre ring, give a little tango, and the referee separates them.
You notice both girls are twisting each other in the clinch. They're trying to get an angle to create more room to punch, particularly with the short shots. Danny Codling, too, told Daniella Smith to go to the body with the right hand before coming up upstairs, and we've seen that already there, doubling up just before Gary McChrystal called the break.
Mike, Sandra Almeida has a very sneaky and powerful lead right hand that she needs to throw a lot more here against Daniella Smith.
Well, she certainly does, and she's getting caught just on the inside there. Daniella Smith once again going downstairs to the body, coming up, but she's turning her in the clinch and then throwing off the break, although she did get caught by a couple of right hands there.
Short popping uppercut. Referee separates both men and gives a warning to both ladies, I should say, for holding. Got a little scrappy in the first round. They want to keep it nice and clean here in the second. And again, Almeida just walking into the right hand leather from Daniella Smith.
Well, referee Gary McChrystal should be telling them rather than break out to punch out.
Good call, Mikey. Too true.
Otherwise, one of these girls is going to get hit on the break, and it's protect yourselves at all times.
There's that right hand again from Sandra. She needs to use it a lot more. The hands are down around the waist here. Can Daniella Smith capitalise? Again, the lead right hand from Sandra Almeida. It's one of her best weapons. She needs to throw it a lot more. Every time she throws it, she almost lands, and she's worrying Daniella Smith, who catches her with the right hand of her own.
Now the referee giving them instructions to punch out, and look at the action we're starting to get from that. Almeida, the South African, as we finish round two, really working her left hand well out of the clinch.
Strength.
Open after throwing combinations. We saw the South African girl there just slipping around to her right and trying to create room to punch, but she did effectively and may have just drawn that second round.
Here we go, third round of action. And Daniella Smith again opens up with the heavy artillery. We've given it 10-9 the first round to Daniella Smith. A 10-all drawn second round. How are you scoring it at home? Or wherever you're watching here on One Sport right around the country.
Well, again, she's just using that unorthodox lead right hand. And it's catching Daniella Smith by surprise every time. It's because she's got a slightly unorthodox rhythm to her. She just breaks it on the half beat. Daniella Smith hasn't quite picked up on that yet. She just needs to watch the range a little bit more. Again, they're being warned for holding.
Sticky jab, nice leg hook from Daniella Smith. Beautifully done in the follow-up right hand. Almeida comes forward on it. There's a slight reddening on the right orbital bone, just beneath the eye now of Sandra Almeida. And you can see Daniella Smith just using the lead hand to gauge her distance, and she'll try and set up that big tub-thumping right hand of hers.
Well, as she moves around to her right, as she just did then, and off the clinch, she just needs to throw her left hook to create more room for the right hand. Again, moves around there. She's trying to go with the right hand too often. She should switch around to her right, throw the left hook, then come back with the right hand. Just stalking, and again, punished for walking inside a range without using a jab.
Almost pulling the head down, wanting to throw the uppercut. Not permitted, of course, says the referee. Daniella Smith just setting herself